finding calm in the chaos. What is tranquility? In a world of constant noise and distraction, tranquility can seem like an elusive dream. Yet the ancient Stoic philosopher Seneca argued that tranquility is not merely an ideal, but a necessity for a fulfilling life. Tranquility for Seneca wasn't about the absence of chaos, but the ability to remain calm amidst the storm. Imagine a still lake, its surface undisturbed even as a storm rages around it. This is the image of Stoic tranquility, a state of inner peace that remains unshaken by external events. This doesn't mean becoming emotionless or indifferent. It's about experiencing emotions without letting them control us. Seneca believed that true tranquility springs from wisdom and virtue. It's about aligning our thoughts and actions with nature, accepting what we can control and letting go of what we can't. It's about finding peace not in external possessions, but in the inner fortress of our minds. This state of mind, Seneca argued, is not a luxury, but the key to navigating life's inevitable challenges with grace and resilience. It's the foundation for making clear judgments, building strong relationships, and living a meaningful life. The enemies within. What steals our peace? If tranquility is the goal, then what stands in our way? Seneca identified several powerful enemies of tranquility that lurk within us: fear, anxiety, anger, and the relentless pursuit of pleasure and possessions. Fear, Seneca argued, often stems from our tendency to imagine the worst possible outcomes. We magnify potential threats and allow them to paralyze us before they even materialize. Anxiety, like fear, thrives on uncertainty. We worry incessantly about things we cannot control: the future, the opinions of others, the unpredictable nature of life itself. Anger, Seneca believed, is a brief form of madness, an explosive reaction to perceived injustice. It clouds our judgment, damages relationships, and ultimately harms us more than the target of our rage. The relentless pursuit of pleasure and possessions, also known as hedonism, is another seductive enemy of tranquility. We chase after external validation, material wealth, and fleeting pleasures, only to find ourselves on a never-ending treadmill of desire. These internal enemies, Seneca argued, are far more dangerous than any external threat. They keep us in a state of constant turmoil, preventing us from experiencing true peace and contentment. The path to peace: cultivating tranquility. Cultivating tranquility, according to Seneca, is an active process, a daily practice of strengthening our minds against these internal enemies. It involves cultivating virtue, practicing mindfulness, and seeking wisdom. Virtue for Seneca wasn't about rigid rules, but about living in accordance with reason and nature. It meant developing qualities like courage, justice, wisdom, and temperance, traits that help us navigate challenges with integrity and resilience. Mindfulness, in the Stoic sense, involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about becoming aware of our thoughts and emotions, recognizing their fleeting nature, and choosing not to be ruled by them. Seeking wisdom for Seneca was a lifelong pursuit. It involved learning from the past, reflecting on our experiences, and seeking guidance from those who have already traveled the path of wisdom. Through these practices, we gradually build an inner citadel of strength and resilience, capable of withstanding the storms of life without being shattered by them. Section 4. Taming our desires, managing expectations. One of the most effective ways to cultivate tranquility, according to Seneca, is to manage our expectations. We often create unnecessary suffering for ourselves by clinging to unrealistic expectations of how things should be. We expect the world to be fair, people to always act rationally, and life to unfold according to our plans. When reality inevitably clashes with these expectations, we experience frustration, disappointment, and anger. Seneca's solution is to align our expectations with reality. He advises us to accept that life is inherently uncertain, that setbacks are inevitable, and that people will not always behave as we wish they would. This doesn't mean becoming passive or resigning ourselves to a life of misery. Instead, it's about approaching life with a healthy dose of realism and focusing on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and responses to external events. Section 5. Practical Tranquility Steps for Daily Life. Seneca's teachings offer practical steps we can incorporate into our daily lives to cultivate tranquility. Practice mindfulness. Start each day with a few moments of quiet reflection. Pay attention to your breath, observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, and set an intention for the day ahead. Challenge negative thoughts. When faced with challenges, resist the urge to catastrophize. Ask yourself, is this situation truly as bad as I'm making it out to be? Reframe negative thoughts in a more positive and realistic light. Practice gratitude. Take time each day to appreciate the good things in your life, however small they may seem. Cultivating gratitude helps shift our focus from what we lack to what we already have. Simplify your life. Declutter your physical space. Limit your exposure to negative news and social media, and prioritize experiences over material possessions. A simpler life can lead to a more tranquil mind. Connect with nature. Spend time in nature, even if it's just a few minutes each day. Observe the stillness of a tree, the flow of a river, or the vastness of the sky. Nature has a way of calming the mind and reminding us of our place in the grand scheme of things. Section 6. Tranquility in Action. Real-world examples. Imagine a busy professional facing a demanding workload and constant deadlines. Instead of succumbing to stress and anxiety, they practice Stoic principles. They break down their work into manageable tasks, focus on one task at a time, and accept that setbacks are a normal part of the process. Or picture a parent dealing with the challenges of raising young children. They practice patience, understanding that tantrums and disagreements are inevitable. They focus on responding with calmness and reason, teaching their children through their own example. These are just two examples of how Stoic principles can be applied in everyday life to cultivate tranquility amidst the chaos. Section 7. Embracing the Stoic Path. A life of tranquility. Tranquility, as Seneca taught us, is not a passive state of being, but an active pursuit, a lifelong journey of self-discovery and growth. It requires us to confront our fears, manage our expectations, and cultivate virtue in our daily lives. The path to tranquility is not always easy, but the rewards are immeasurable. By embracing Stoic principles, we equip ourselves with the inner strength and resilience to navigate life's inevitable challenges with grace and wisdom. We learn to find peace not in the absence of storms, but in the calm center of our own being. Embrace the Stoic path and discover the profound tranquility that comes from living a life of virtue, wisdom, and inner peace.